few things I like and a few things I don't about the Canon R7. Put the green screen down and go to Canon R7 land. Here we are. Wow, it's beautiful. I love it here. First point, ergonomics. Very, very nice body, fantastic grip, and this wheel on the back here. I don't even know, I didn't see this in the release. Anyways, there's a wheel up here, and it kind of replaces the bigger wheel that's usually down here, but I find this a lot easier to use. The one downside is there's a joystick in the middle, and you can't just press the wheel left and right to select menu options. You have to put your thumb onto the joystick. I just wish I could hit left and right on the wheel, and it would be perfect. Otherwise, it's better, but not quite perfect. Next up, the autofocus is stupid good. Of all brands, it seems to predict exactly what I want it to do the absolute best, so shout out to that. Also, stay to the end of this video, and if you want a birthday gift, I got a birthday gift coming for you. It's my birthday, but you get the gift. Next up, 2 card slots, which is nice for y'all wedding folk that are on this channel, myself included, and also video just records to both card slots. Looking at you, Nikon. Why can't you do that? Please help us out. The shutter. The shutter sounds like complete and utter trash. The shutter, the mechanical shutter, sounds like you took a bunch of change and you dropped it into a box of Kraft Dinner, and that's what the shutter sounds like. Do you want to hear it? Do you really want to hear it? Change into Kraft Dinner. This camera is a crop sensor, which means this tiny 16, the 16 is a full frame lens, but on this crop sensor body, it makes it 1 times 1.5 is 24. Nice, clean, even number, but no, the crop factor on the R7 is 1.6. So instead this 16 becomes a very, very clean and round 25.6 millimeter lens. So enjoy shooting your 25.6 millimeter lens. It is my personal favorite focal length, and I hope that you find joy in it as well. Something that I was very excited to see on this camera, digital zoom with no quality loss, which means that you get, it says it's a 10 times zoom. So you have a 16, you can zoom all the way into 160 millimeters, or it's probably based on the 35 crop. So you get a 25.6 millimeter lens to 256 millimeter lens with digital zoom. So this is now a 256 millimeter lens, maybe the smallest in the industry. Anyways, the thing that sucks is you can only use this in HD and only at 29 frames per second or 24. You can't do 60p HD, which is what we do for wedding days. So unfortunately the digital zoom is, I don't know, maybe they can fix that in firmware eventually. Love to have it. 4K, it's not gonna work, just physics and how they make the digital work. So if you shoot in HD like we do, this is just a very, very nice tool to have. It makes this, even if you don't use it to the extremes, you still have now a 25.6, a 35, a 50, and maybe an 80, all within range of one of these. So yeah, hybrid photo video. It suffers from the same stupid issue that the R6 has, or it's not an issue, it's something that Canon's actually programmed in here. And you can't just make it so you turn the camera on. Also, this space, amazing, we'll talk about that in a second. And you hit record, and you're in manual photo mode, and you hit record, you launch into automatic movie mode. You can control exposure, but you can't change any actual settings. You can't select your aperture or shutter speed or anything. And you have to go into movie mode to do that, unfortunately. But I will say, moving into movie mode is so much easier. So it's actually on the on-off switch. So you go all the way over, it is movie mode, you go halfway, it's photo, you go this way, it's off. That is a much better situation than on the Canon R6 where you have to rotate the physical wheel in order to get into manual video mode. A lot more ergonomic, and hybrid shooters rejoice. Also, as far as buffer speed goes, so you just take a bunch of photos with your Kraft Dinner change shutter, and then you switch to video mode, and you can be recording instantly. And this is a slow card in here too. This isn't even a relatively fast SD card. Let's see what it is. So not the slowest card in the world, but definitely not the fastest. If you get fast cards in there, I guess you don't really need to go faster than that because you don't need it. Buffer clears fast, and I love that. Another thing I love, 6-hour record limit, similar to the R3, that if you're doing a wedding ceremony and it's a 45-minute wedding ceremony, you don't have to go restart your camera at the 29-minute and 59-second limit and restart it. You can just let it roll, and that's great. As you can see, fully articulating screen, so you can see yourself here. There you go. Wow, you can see yourself. That's great. And then I have it set up so I never override this. So if I have the camera close, the screen is still on. But as soon as I close the screen, at this point, the viewfinder comes up, and that's the way I like to use the camera. Next up, the EVF. It's very nice. The camera's not actually on right now. It's on now. I was just faking it. EVF, very, very nice to use, and kind of the right size. It's a little bit smaller than the Canon R3, but I don't know, it feels completely fine to me. On the front of the camera here, you have an autofocus, manual focus switch. I don't know if you can see that, it's right down there. And there's also a button on top, a function button. And I currently have that function button set to auto level, which is a new feature that I haven't seen in any mirrorless camera to my knowledge. And I'm very excited about that feature because I shoot all my family formals on like a 2 degree or 3 degree slant. And if it can correct for that, awesome. As of right now though, I don't know if auto level does anything. I tried a bunch of samples and they all did not auto level. So I don't know if it just hasn't been enabled or if it's something they can fix in firmware, but as of right now, great feature, but it doesn't feature. Or maybe I'm just using it incorrectly, but I don't know how I would be using it incorrectly. In here, the same batteries that my Canon R6 uses, which is nice because I have a bunch of them. And it's nice when everything just works nicely together. Different obviously than the R3 battery though, because that's big. USB-C charging. Well, it is supported. It is still super dumb. If you own the R6, you have to get a special adapter USB-C charger. You can't just plug it into anything. I've discovered that if I plug it into the wall adapter that is with a MacBook Pro, it works. So you need a high wattage adapter. If you're just plugging it into a standard iPhone cube and USB-C into this, it will not do anything, unfortunately. Again, hate that. Also, the shutter that sounds like the macaroni change, there's a setting in here that actually allows you to leave the shutter blades down. So whenever you take the lens off here, the shutter blades will come down. And don't start breaking the shutter blades, don't poke at them, and they're gonna take that feature away from us if we do, because that's why it's not on all the other cameras. But you can leave the shutter blades down if you so desire. Good news for everyone, inside here, there are some creative filters such as Dream, Old Movies, Memory, Dramatic Black and White, and Miniature Effect Movie. Wow, I doubt anyone will ever use any of those. However, you can do multiple exposure focus stacking in this camera, which is kind of interesting. Up here, multi-shoe, which means eventually when they make a good one, you can put a microphone on it and you don't need a wire to actually go to the mic hole here. And I've been advised by our local camera shop, BJ Photo here in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, where I bought this camera with my own money, that the Canon one really isn't up to standard yet. And the Sony ones are great if you have a Sony camera. Multi-shoe, you got some good options. Canon, hopefully soon, we'll see. Standalone door for the mic, which is great. Looking at you, Nikon Z9. Why did you put the mic hole and the Cat 5 cable? Why would you put something that you use all the time, that you may use out in weather, and then put it beside a giant hole in the side of the body to get filled with water? Are you ever gonna use a mic and a Cat 5 at the same time? Probably not, I don't know. The other things, I'm very excited to test out the IBIS. So if you know the Canon R6, whenever you use a super wide like this 16, you get some edge warble with the IBIS. I'm wondering if the crop sensor and the fact that my frame is now this, it kind of gets rid of the aspects of the frame that would be warbled. So I'm curious, and I'll test this, because this is a camera that I'm going to be continuing to test probably for the next maybe 2-3 months. I'll take it to a wedding day. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I'm gonna take it to a wedding day. We're gonna do a bunch of footage out in the Banff mountains. And if you're not coming to our workshop out in Banff, if you want wedding photography portfolio, come on through to our wedding photography workshop out in Banff, where we're just gonna set up shoots for you. And you can just go and you can just click the pictures. You can do some reels for your friends. You can get some headshots. You can come have some fun. It's myself, Sam Hurd, Carolyn Tran, Scott Robert Lim. You know them all from the channel. Nicole Ashley, who I haven't met in real life, but I've been following for years. Come on out and you get to do a half-day workshop with each of us in Banff National Park, which is almost, even if there were no instructors, it's worth the trip. And there are instructors and nice pictures to be taken. Also, the birthday gift that I told you about in the beginning is the fact that you can now get in on the members website and tell my birthday, which is July 14th, for $30 per month rather than $40 per month. July 14th, it goes back up to $40 per month. So get in before then, and it's 100% money back guarantee. You sign up, there's so much content over there. Just go for a quick scroll. And we're now doing weekly content as well. So there's a behind the scenes wedding day that has just gone up as well. And if you're interested in seeing a behind the scenes wedding day, head on over there right now. You have access to it if you are in fact a member. That is all. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I will be doing lots more videos with this over the next couple of weeks. So I will see you then.